Okay, intermediate module 29 to 30, problem 2. Gives us a series of transactions and it asks us to consider them, and then it says do the journal entries. All right, well, here's the journal entries. Let's get started. Well, January 13th, negotiated a revolving credit agreement. That's a notation, that's no journal entry. Okay, so no journal entry there. Arranged a 3-month loan. Under the line of credit, interest was prime at maturity. So how much did they borrow? 9 mil. So cash and credit note payable. Now remember, we're borrowing the money. We are the issuer of the note. The issuer of the note is the borrower. Okay, so let's see what else we have to do. And May 1st, we paid the 7% note at maturity. Okay, so that's 9 mil times 7%. Times how many months did we have this? 3/12. And we had a February, all of February, all of March, all of April, and we paid it on May 1st. So 3/12. So let's do this. 3/12 times 0.07 times how much did we borrow? 9 mil? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 157,500. So that's our interest expense. So interest expense, 157,500. 9 mil for the note that we're retiring. And it's going to cost us $9,157,500. Okay, now the next one, let's see what the next one has in store for us. Supported by credit line, they issued $13 million, borrowed $13 million of commercial paper on a 9-month note. The interest was discounted at a rate of 6%. So we have to figure out what the discount is, because this is a discounted note payable, which means we walked into the bank to borrow 9 mil, we walked out with less than 9 mil, or in this case 13 mil, excuse me. We went in to borrow 13 mil, we walked out with less than 13 mil. We have to figure out what that less amount is. So that less amount is 13 mil times 6% times how long are we going to have this? 9 months? Yeah, 9-month note, 9/12. Remember, discounted note, you're paying all the interest up front. So let's work it out. Quick to the nerd cave. 13 mil, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, times 0.06 times 9 divided by 12, $585,000. That's the discount. And 585, so we'd have 13 mil minus 585. So we're borrowing 13 mil. We're walking out of the bank with 12 mil, 415,000. And while we're here, let's compute the actual interest expense, because we're going to need that for the closing entry. And the actual interest expense is not 6%, because first of all, we didn't borrow 13 mil, we really borrowed $12,415,000. So we need to take our $585,000, the amount of interest we're paying, the discount, divide that by the $12,415,000 that we actually borrowed. Oh, good. We just divide it by 12,415,000. 1, 2, 3. And somehow I managed to screw up because that's not even close to being the right answer. Let me try that again. We borrowed $585,000. We paid interest of $585,000. We actually borrowed $1,240,000. God, I'm sorry, kids. I am just stuck on stupid today. We borrowed $12,415,000. So that gives us. I am doing this bass backwards. I am just stuck on stupid. I apologize. I'm doing it the wrong way. That's why. I have to take the 585 and divide it by the 1214. I'm doing it the wrong way around. When you divide the 585,000 that we borrowed, the discount, and we divide that by 1214. Okay, so we want to know what percentage of 12,415,000 is 580,000, and then we have to multiply that times 12 ninths. Okay, we come up with, and that whole thing gets multiplied by 12 ninths. Okay, we have to come up with the interest rate, because remember, this is for 9 months, but we're doing it for 12, so we have to figure out what it would be. So we come up with a number, and then we have to increase it. And when we do that, we come up with 26.2827%. That's the interest rate that we're actually paying. And it's the interest divided by the amount we borrowed multiplied by 12 ninths, okay? So take that, and we're going to multiply that. So I was on the right track. I just forgot to do the next part. Times 12 divided by 9. Huh? Oh, sorry. 19 divided by... I'm sorry. I have no idea why I did that. I am just so stuck on stupid. Did it start over again? 12,415,000. Okay, that's how much we borrowed. So the discount is 585,000 divided by 12415 times 12 divided by 9, 6.2827%. Okay, and that's our actual interest rate. Once I was no longer stuck on stupid. So we need all three of these numbers. We need these for right now. So the cash that we got was $12,415,000. The discount was $585,000, and the total note is $13 million. And the interest expense, we have to figure that out for the year, and we have to work on that using the 6.2827. So that's 12,415 times, what do you say, 6.2827%, 6.2827% times 1/12, and when we do that, we come up with 65,000. So that's the problem. Then it asks us to do the interest expense for the following year and the journal entries through the maturity. Well, the interest expense for the following year is pretty much straightforward. You're going to take the discount for that year. We already counted for 65 of it. Okay, so 520 is next year's. That's the interest expense. And that's a credit to the discount account. And then when we pay the note payable, we will be paying back the 13 mil. Remember, we only picked up 525 here because the total discount is 585. We picked up 65 of it last year, so we only have 520 left for this year.